Good evening, and thank you for joining us for tonight's game. I'm Tacoma Stars public address announcer Randy McNair. Tonight's game-worn jerseys were uniquely and specifically designed for tonight's celebration, a limited edition Tacoma Stars jersey. Now, here's the really cool thing about it. These jerseys are available for you to take home. If you're watching on MASL TV, we'll mail the jersey to you. Now, this is all because we are having a live jersey auction during tonight's game. That's right, all game-worn Tacoma Stars jerseys are available for you to take home. Now, we have changed the live jersey auction. It's easier than ever before, and it's all possible through the Live Source app on your mobile device. That's right, download the Live Source app through your app store on your mobile device to bid on tonight's game-worn Tacoma Stars jerseys. Now, the app is easy to find, it's free to use, and here's the important part. It's easy to use. I've downloaded it myself. This is how you use it.
Go to the App Store on your mobile device and type in Live Source. It's the app icon with the 3 yellow lines. Once you download the app, create an account. For location, click on Kent, Washington. Enter your card information for easy payment options, and once you're completed with that, you are set to start bidding. Once again, there's no need to get up and check on your item. You can bid from the convenience of your seat.
Now, once you download the app and use the app, there is absolutely no obligation. You can go in there, check out the jerseys, see where your favorite player's jersey is bidding at, and once again, you can bid from the convenience of your seat. If you're watching on MASL TV, you can bid right from home. So head to your app store, download the Live Source app on your mobile device, and bid on tonight's limited edition Tacoma Stars game-worn jerseys. Enjoy tonight's game, everybody. Happy bidding.
Live from the Showwear Center in Kent, Washington, it is Friday night MASL action as the Tacoma Stars play host to the visiting Turlock Cal Express. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on MASL TV. I'm Andrew Harvey, joined as always by my main man, Peyton Behrens. Peyton, great night for MASL soccer.
Very excited to be back at the Showwear Center for yet again another Friday night matchup here.
Absolutely, another Friday night matchup and another special jersey auction. It is Heart Health Awareness Night, courtesy of CHI Franciscan here, and that means another set of game-worn kits by the Tacoma Stars will be auctioned off on the Live Source app, which you can download now. Live Source, all one word. Bidding will remain open till 5 minutes remain in the fourth quarter. Peyton, the red and white, it's a great combo. I'm a big fan.
I love it. I know the Stars are trademarked for their blue and orange, but I would not be opposed to going full-time with this red. It's a slick look out there for the Stars.
Well, don't let owner Lane Smith let you know that. This is a one-time deal. If you're unable to be here tonight, which I presume you are if you're watching right now, they will mail the jersey to you should you win your auction. But that's the sort of sprinkle on top. The real meat of this match are the Western Conference standings right now. Tacoma in a playoff spot, 5-8 overall, but Ontario Fury right below them, hot on their heels, and currently up 2-0 against the Mesquite Outlaws.
Look, Tacoma's got a lot of climbing to do if they want to try and make it up to that third place spot, but they really got to worry about what's behind them. The 5th, 6th, and 7 are right on their heels, one game out. Tacoma right now, we've seen them struggle. They need to be able to really step up their game, especially these home games. You got one tonight before you head out onto the road. You got to be able to get a win, put yourself at 6-8, and really give Sonora a little bit of pressure coming up for that third spot.
Absolutely. No Juan Manuel Rojo tonight for Turlock Cal Express, but they do have Adrian Gutierrez, who has been prolific for them this season. He's got double-digit assists.
Look, and he's a guy who didn't get on the score sheet the last time that these two teams were facing off in Kent, but he had 4 shots on goal. Danny Waltman played a great match, was able to keep him out of the net, and then it turned him into being just, 4 shots. He had a lot of pressure. He was dangerous. You got to make sure you have that same performance again tonight. Can't let him get behind Danny Waltman.
Absolutely, and of course, not in the starting lineup tonight for Tacoma, but back with the Stars is Evan McNeely after a bit of a surprise trade with Ontario that took place just the other day.
Look, he's one of the fan favorites. Fans here in Tacoma, every time Evan McNeely has traveled back here, they give him a warm ovation. They make sure that they let him know that he is loved, and now he is here for the rest of the season, and these fans are excited. When he was announced and Randy McNair, our PA man, gave him the welcome back, Evan McNeely, our fans erupted here in Tacoma, and it was a good scene, and I think Evan is excited, and he's somebody who brings goals and assists. 6 goals, 3 assists on the season for Evan McNeely. He's a specialist on set piece, and he can defend the heck out of the game. He's a huge force that Tacoma needs to be able to rely on for the rest of the season.
Well, they won't be out there for very long, but here are your starting lineups. In goal for Turlock, Edgar Martinez. The outfield of Christian Valadez, Adrian Gutierrez, Matthew Germain. More on that in a minute as the turnover leads to Pereira. Pereira fires and scores! Nick Pereira needs just 36 seconds to grab the opening tally.
Set the tone right off the bat. Nick Pereira is doing exactly what your leader needs to do, and Tacoma is off with a 1-0 lead. Something we haven't seen Tacoma do very well in these last few games is start the first quarter hot. They do it well tonight. Nick Pereira doing it just over 30 seconds in. We've seen them go multiple first quarters without netting a goal. Nick Pereira, the first shot of the game, he tees it up with his right foot, powers those laces through it, and the Stars are ahead 1-0.
Well, we know for a fact that Ontario is going to be hot on their heels tonight. How about that finish from Nick Pereira? No doubt, drew Martinez to the near post and just saw acres of space and did not disappoint. Well, Tacoma, as you mentioned, Peyton, in the driver's seat. They have not really been here much during this homestand. Missed the last of 5 consecutive games here at the ShoWare Center before they'll head on the road.
And look, when you have a start like that, especially for a guy like Nick Pereira, you know that he's ready to have a huge night. Now, you get a little bit of energy. You get an extra burst after you score a goal. Nick Pereira's going to play with that for the next 4 quarters, and that's huge for Tacoma. He's going to be leading from the front. On that, he's going to be chasing his second goal all game. He's going to set up his teammates for assists. Turlock knows even more than ever now that they have to really lock down Pereira. And then you got guys out here like Douglas and Caceres who are going to be problems all night long.
Bouncing ball in toward Canali, turns it toward goal. Martinez picks it up off the bounce. And Douglas Lima letting us know before tonight's match, guys, it's just Douglas. Just Douglas. We'll roll with it in favor of the Brazilian, often favoring the one-name system. Might be having a bit of a laugh with us, but I'm not in the habit of trying to make the players upset. Rolling ball here, Waltman, not many options. It's turned wide, that time by Canali. Pardon me, by Alex Caceres. There's Canali looking to scoop it clear.
Lamar Nagel trying to dribble out of the defensive end, but something Nagel does well is use the boards.
Adrian Gutierrez there. Whistles one past Waltman. Germain cuts it down low. Juan Gonzalez and Evan McNeely taps it out of play. I'm going to be honest with you, Peyton, I got kind of used to McNeely being here in the Ontario jersey. It's great to see him back in a Stars uniform, but it's taken a minute.
I love it. You know, Evan McNeely, he's a talented player. He's a lockdown defender, and he has a wicked left foot that can strike the ball. Whether it's off set pieces, volleys, or just in the run of play, Evan McNeely has an incredibly powerful shot, one of the hardest in MASL, and he's going to be a problem to deal with for the Express tonight.
Gutierrez getting the return there from Gonzalez. He's upended, gets the call. Canali doesn't feel he had much in on that challenge, but there might have been a bit of a trip.
A little soft, but when you're against the boards and you take the feet out of play, it's going to get called every time. Great set piece look here for the Express early. 12:26 to play in this first quarter in Tacoma. They have a huge defensive stand on their hands.
Gutierrez chips that ball through, back post. And sending that straight into the net was Anibal Echeverria.
And he just mishit that, just let it bounce, didn't get the knee over it, and it goes right back where it came from.
Your crew chief tonight is John Snyder, referee Josh Wilkins, assistant referee Ryan Attali, and the 4th official is Richard Meeks. Here's Dan Antoniuk. And of course, in all the excitement, we lost track that opening strike from Pereira. We didn't even have a time to set the stakes. That's his 200th career goal. It took me a minute to remember that.
It was so fast right off the bat, and congratulations to Nick Pereira for being able to have a milestone as such in MASL. That's great work, and he really does. He puts on for his team.
Ramos, low fire. Martinez doing enough to turn it wide.
You know, the next time I talk to Pereira, I'm going to ask him about 200, and I guarantee you the answer is going to be, well, he's looking for 201 now. It's all about the next goal for Nick Pereira, and that's something you got to love about the guy is he's not going to be hung up on this big milestone for long.
Pereira down in the corner. Scoops that back inside. Antonio tried to bring it down there for Caceres.
And this line's been on the field for a little while. You're going to see Ramos and McCluskey go for a line change.
Meanwhile, they're going to lump it into Pereira. He's a threat all by his lonesome and has support arriving now. Nagel checking in back post. It's turned over. Knocked into space. There's Gerardo Jurado. Had 2 goals against the Stars in their last meeting.
Chase Hansen did a great job at shutting down that quick break. He left the player running in onto the backside, but made sure he took away the passing lane.
Bouncing ball here. That one almost gets beyond Waltman. He stands strong and fights off Adrian Plasencia. Hansen's gone down. Rafael Cox along the boards. He's lost the ball. Wins it back after a brief struggle. Now Pereira. Don't see him getting active much in the defensive end. He'll step off.
Yeah, this game's been chippy here as there's a whistle off the ball, and something that we didn't really talk about is that there was a player down, and I didn't get the number on Pereira's goal, but there was a player left back in the dust, and Turlock was not happy about play still continuing, and then Pereira going and getting the goal on the end of it. That's just the icing on top of it that Turlock did not want in any sort of way.
Square ball here, poked away from Ramos. Adrian Gutierrez rolls it down the boards. Hansen will be the first one to it. Germain in hot pursuit. Here's Douglas. Now, Peyton, one of the things that's been a factor of these last 4 home games really for Tacoma at home has been the slow starts. They've been sluggish. The touches haven't been there. The passes have really not been connected, but that early goal from Nick Pereira really has Tacoma clicking tonight.
So we can go back to as early as last week where they didn't score in the first quarter. They go down 4-1 in the first quarter, and they go down 6-1 in the second quarter. It was a rough start out of the gates. Tacoma just didn't know where they were. They come back and they lose that game by 1 goal. It was 11-10. You should never be losing games that you score 10 goals in, and that's a rough one for the Stars, and I know that they want to bounce back strong. Nick Pereira did a great job at starting it off the right way. This is a team who is finding their rhythm early tonight, and that's huge for Tacoma.
Jurado absorbs a bit of a shove there from Nagel. Douglas going to leave that one for Canali. Once again, if you fancy the kits worn by the Tacoma Stars tonight, including the keeper kits, they're all available on a live auction. Just download the Live Source app. Again, that's all one word. As McCluskey's in a spot of bother. Turned over, fired toward goal, and whistling wide from Ivan Campos. Ramos nearly nicked the ball away, but there was a foul on Juan Gonzalez.
You know, going back to that last build-up, I like the composure from Danny Waltman. He doesn't dive to the ground on that shot. He knows it's wide. He knows his positioning. If he dives to the ground and there's a follow-up, it's an easy tap-in goal. Rather, he kept his feet, he stayed alert, and it made sure that Turlock's attack had no sort of easy tap-in inside the box.
Edgar Martinez gone forth for Gutierrez. Campos knocking it back here. Dropped it along the far side. Antoniuk went down. There was not much contact there from Adrian Pulido, but it was enough to win the foul.
And whistles are being a little bit tight here in the early stages, and we've seen games like this so far this season at the ShoWare, and I'm not against it. They set the tone early. Both teams know what is going to be called a foul and what's not, and it's something where the game doesn't get out of the referee's control.
Absolutely. These two teams, old Pacific Division rivals, don't like each other very well. Last game saw 6 blue cards handed out.
You know, the last time that these two teams met, we saw a great keeper battle where you had Danny Waltman and Edgar Martinez each with 12 saves, and there was a lot of shots flying and a lot of good goalkeeping play, like right there.
Rafael Cox testing Martinez. Now a fight down on the boards. Jurado has it, cuts it square. This is Adrian Pulido. And lump back to Gutierrez at midfield.
And Pereira's caught on the defense right now. It's somewhere where, you know, he doesn't mind playing, but the Stars would much rather have one of their defensive enforcers on the field at this moment.
There's Pulido. Ball from Germain nearly bounced into Turlock's bench there. Martinez headed for the corner. Gutierrez is there. And Pereira tips it away from Echeverria. Nagel's there. He's gone down, pressure on his back. And I think the Stars, realizing more than Turlock right now what kind of game the referees are inclined to give us at the moment.
You know, and the Stars are going to use that to their advantage. They're going to let Turlock rack up a couple of fouls. If the referee sees, you know, one certain player having 3 fouls in the first quarter, they're probably going to get issued a blue card.
Lima fires Martinez, another fingertip save. Clearance is blocked and will bounce back into Martinez.
You got to love Douglas's left foot there, just cutting into the middle of the field, gets into that attacking third, and he's able to smash. This team is full of powerful left-footed shooters, and Douglas is no slouch on that. You know, he's only in his 3rd game here with Tacoma, and he's so talented.
Waltman, that's using your head. Bit of a reach in, Campos with it now. Douglas in defense. Campos drops it back to Germain. Canali comes for it, misses. Germain drives forward. Waltman knocks it away, and McNeely lifts it clear. Headed backward. Canali could play himself in here with a good first touch. Canali has an option to the back post. Canali cuts it back on his left foot, squares it into the middle, and Ramos drives it home. 2-0 Tacoma. Well, finished by Ramos, but made by Canali, who really had a wonder of a first touch on that break.
I want to rewind that one even a little bit further, Andrew, because I think Evan McNeely sets all that up. There's a bouncing ball in the defensive end. He knows Canali's one-on-one with the defender, and he knows all he has to do is lump that ball over the top of Canali, and Canali's going to have a great chance at it. So what does Evan McNeely do? Right on the first touch, he sends it sky high. Canali gets his positioning and he goes up the right side of the field. A simple cutback. You thought he might go Douglas on the far post, but no, he has the awareness to look at Ramos cutting right down the middle of the field, wide open, down Main Street, and just tapping it home. That's Ramos, who leads the team on shots with 70 shots. He now has his 20th goal.
Now that's also taking us to the under 8-minute media timeout. Tacoma Stars would like to thank Miter USA for providing today's match balls. Miter, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's oldest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. Miter is a proud partner of Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. The MASL and Miter share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. Miter's Astro Division ball is the official game ball for MASL League play. Miter's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight than the average ball and has a 30% reduced bounce to make it play more efficiently in arena soccer. Well, Tacoma has really seized the initiative here in the first quarter. And 2 goals, both coming on fast breaks. Tacoma, Peyton, not necessarily the fastest team in terms of foot speed. You saw that was a real problem against the Harrisburg Heat last week, who had great pace all the way around, but they play so well on the break. What is that?
It's knowing where your guys are. You don't always need great speed, but positioning is key when you don't have that sort of speed to get on the back end of guys. Like you said, we saw Harrisburg last week. Ty Hall, former Tacoma Star, was able to burn the Stars up and down the back side and, you know, sitting back door all day long. Tacoma, rather than trying to out-foot pace people, you saw Canali. He pulls it back. He knows he has 2 options there because Turlock, they're not getting all the way back. He's just going to lay that ball off to one of 2 options and passing it home. That's great counter-attacking football there. 6:10 left, and the Stars are up 2-0.
Well, and it will be an important lead for Tacoma to maintain right now in the second quarter. Down in Ontario, the Fury have a 4-0 lead over Mesquite. So Ontario, in all likelihood, finishing the night on 5-8. Tacoma with a win could stay above them in the playoff race, go to 6-8 overall. Back underway at the ShoWare Center. 6:06 to play in the first quarter.
You know, this game's really important for Tacoma. You go on 2 tough road games. You go Dallas and Mesquite, and then you come home to play the top team in MASL in the Florida Tropics for 2 games. Then you're facing San Diego for 3 games just shortly after that. So you got a tough stretch on your hands if you're Tacoma. You got to get a win here tonight.
Shot blocked by Antoniuk. That one will stay in play, but only just barely. Keats taps it back to Waltman. Tacoma finishing up a change. Hansen with it here. Square for Waltman. And now Caceres, 2-time MASL Team of the Week selection this season. And it's just been a huge addition to what Tacoma's been trying to accomplish.
You know, and he does everything, and he does it from a defensive aspect. You look at Caceres, and he's sitting back the furthest guy in the attack.
Hansen on the layoff from Pereira. Pereira wanted to go quickly to McCluskey, but his first touch let him down. Rare for that to happen for Pereira. Ramos with it here. Cutting inside. Ramos, shoulder to shoulder with Campos. Caceres down low. Hansen comes back off the boards and the easy cash in. Nick Pereira on a brace, and Chase Hansen just put that on a plate for him.
And I'm going to tip my cap again to the very first pass that sets all that up. It's Caceres from the far side wing. He's sitting back far, and he's able to split 2 defenders to find Chase Hansen on this near side. Hansen is able to do something that the Stars, it's been their worst enemy all year. That pass against the boards that's parallel with the goal and just coming back into the play. The Stars have not been able to capitalize on that. Other teams against the Stars, they've been doing just well on it. So the Stars are catching up there. Hansen's able to smash that ball off the boards. And here's the replay as that first pass comes all the way in. There's Hansen's one touch, and then Nick Pereira wide open in the key. That's great work in Tacoma, using the boards well. We see Nagel do it night in, night out. Now you see Chase Hansen doing a great job at finding the wall.
Well, he only needed 36 seconds to score his first one, and he didn't really give us time to properly congratulate him on career goal 200. So Tacoma Stars would like to officially congratulate Nick Pereira on his 201st MASL career goal.
I think we just need to congratulate him on every goal. Let's start a tally. 201. Hats off, Nick Pereira. That is a magical milestone to be able to reach. And with such great teammates finding him on these passes, I think that if I ask him post-game, he will credit his teammates with all 200 goals.
And certainly, we'll give plenty of credit to Chase Hansen on that one. Raphael Cox getting the ball. There's Megson. Megson has a flair for the unconventional goal. We've seen that kind of come out these last couple weeks as McNeely thunders that ball ahead. Canali spins, has a bit of space. Canali dancing through and can't quite get the final touch to go as he collides with Echeverria.
And I talked to Alex Megson before today's game. I asked him for another bicycle kick goal like we saw on the road, and he said, look, I tried last week, and it was almost spectacular. I'll try it again tonight, but no promises. And so he told me if he scores another bicycle kick goal, he's going to look me dead in the eyes from the field, and I will feel all the power because I initiated that.
He's had some pretty cool celebrations as well. Knows how to strike a pose. Gutierrez, that one rattles off of Canali's head and goes into the net.
You know, I think that adding Evan McNeely to this team and the personnel that's already around it, you have great attacking defenders. Evan McNeely falls into that. Alex Caceres, who I was just talking about, you would never know he's a defender for how well he attacks. Douglas, great defending attacker. All these guys are able to just sit back. They have great speed to be able to get back in their physical bodies, but they finish so well.
Referee is saying that was a deliberate clearance. Has come to the free kick arc. Here's Ivan Campos. Plays it short. Adrian Gutierrez. Oh, just had that roll up right on his ankle. Tough to keep that ball down.
And I'm not huge on Campos's run up there. You run up to the ball, you stop all your momentum because you're faking to the left, or to his right, excuse me, and then you go left with it. Go be deliberate with it, because a lot of times these walls, these defenses, they're assuming that fake is coming. Just be deliberate and give a great pass right off the start, and it's going to lead up to a better shot.
Waltman skitters down along the boards. Here's Pereira. And back for Caceres. Ramos threads it through, finds Pereira. The return to Ramos. Caceres the drop. Tacoma just so patient with this 3-goal lead, just under 2.5 to play in the first quarter. And Peyton, one thing that we really have seen is that the Stars recently have struggled against teams that have gone into a high press. Turlock just trying to slide it a little bit right there, but the press is not coordinated. Hansen lets fly, and that one keeps rising. But should Turlock be trying to put more pressure on Tacoma higher up the pitch?
I think they should, and they showed it just a little bit there. It's not an organized press. What we've seen previously with these teams is Nick Pereira gets a steal in the defensive end.
Pereira fighting off Gutierrez. Shouldered into the boards. That is going to lead to a free kick. And Pereira, for his part, keeping his feet. I think if he might have gone down a little bit more theatrically, he might have gotten more than just a free kick out of that.
And Nick Pereira, he's not going to go down easily. He knows this league, but I'm going to say if that was hockey, I think gloves are coming off right there as Nick Pereira just getting bodied into the glass.
Pereira slips that through to the backside. Douglas can't get it to go. Low bouncing shot cleared off the line by Campos. Ramos teeing up the volley. Now he brings it down. Back for McNeely. One of the joys of being a star hockey player. Someone else does the fighting for you. Keats up for Pereira. Rolling back through to Keats. Martinez bravely off his line there. Gutierrez trying to play on the break. Stood straight up. Great tackle for McNeely, and he gets another kind of welcome home round of applause.
What a challenge. He waited for it beautifully. Just waited for that touch to be half an inch too far, sticks his foot out and just stops it immediately. Players run past, and he's got the ball coming up for him. That's great work for Evan McNeely.
Caceres plays the flat drop to Waltman. They find Douglas on the far side. Ball up to Canali. Nagel. And Tacoma very patient here, under a minute to go. Ramos checks the clock, likes what he sees. Waltman finds Ramos ahead for Canali. Ramos, ball coming his way, scoops it to the back post and just misses wide. Douglas takes over, and that one should come to the top of the arc. It was cleared out.
I love the ambition from Ramos there, being able to shoot at such a low angle and almost getting it onto that backside. We've seen in this league, you shoot from no angle. If it even just clips that far post, half the time it's bouncing in.
Tacoma dangerous in these situations. Caceres scoops it left. McNeely fires. It's blocked. McNeely plays it off the boards. Scoop backside. Ramos is there. Back for Pereira. 11 seconds left. McNeely has a go. Low ball. Martinez holds it.
That thing had some beautiful curl on it right at the end. What a first quarter for Tacoma. 8 shots, 2 against. Everything is clicking for the Stars.
That is the end of the first quarter, and Tacoma takes a 3-0 lead into the break. We'll take a break here on MASL TV.
One day, they'll be doctors and teachers and leaders. Might seem like a long way off, but it's never too early to learn great habits, like saving for their future. That's why the BECU Early Saver account has one of the best rates in the country. To encourage the next generation and help them understand the little things they do now can grow into something very big. We're BECU, and we're altogether different.
Success is playing at the highest level. Success is the roar of the crowd. Success is the rush of scoring a goal. Success is your family cheering you on. Success is being the largest youth program in the state. For every kid in Washington, success starts here at Washington Youth Soccer.
That's you. And this is your thriving community. There's your neighbor, the chatty one. And here, at the heart of it all, is your money. When you chose Sound Credit Union, you got fewer fees and better rates. You joined us in supporting local organizations. And you got a great app to manage your money. Welcome to your future. You're gonna love it here. Sound Credit Union, invested in we. All Washingtonians welcome.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for tonight's game. I'm Tacoma Stars public address announcer Randy McNair. Tonight's game-worn jerseys were uniquely and specifically designed for tonight's celebration, a limited edition Tacoma Stars jersey. Now, here's the really cool thing about it. These jerseys are available for you to take home. If you're watching on MASL TV, we'll mail the jersey to you. Now, this is all because we are having a live jersey auction during tonight's game. That's right, all game-worn Tacoma Stars jerseys are available for you to take home. Now, we have changed the live jersey auction. It's easier than ever before, and it's all possible through the Live Source app on your mobile device. That's right, download the Live Source app through your app store on your mobile device to bid on tonight's game-worn Tacoma Stars jerseys. Now, the app is easy to find. It's free to use.
Welcome back into the ShoWare Center. Tacoma Stars have a 3-0 lead over the visiting Turlock Cal Express. Here on MASL TV, Andrew Harvey alongside Peyton Behrens as we rejoin the action. Nagel on the overlap. Ball gone forward toward McCluskey. McCluskey put head first into the boards. And Juan Gonzalez, boy, lucky that he's just seeing a free kick for that.
And we still have yet to see our first blue card of the day. We thought that that might be it right there, but I think this game is due for one coming up soon because there have been some challenges. Nick Pereira definitely went into the glass a little bit ago, and then Vince McCluskey right there against the boards. That's a big no-no.
Adrian Gutierrez, he and Mike Ramos doing battle. Caceres back to Hansen. Pereira has it poked away.
In Tacoma right now, you got Nick Pereira with 2 goals so far on the day, and I don't mind them sitting back the way that they are. They're playing conservative, but we saw them earlier high pressing up the field a little bit. Now, right now, you're defending what you have, and you're going to be able to counterattack and do things like that very well. Tacoma, they got this game exactly where they want it. They don't want this to go anywhere. Keep playing the way that you are. Don't try and take any big risks, and you're going to be set going into halftime. 13 minutes till the intermission. Tacoma, we got to see how this second quarter really plays out. We know Tacoma's a second half team, so let's see how they adjust with the rest of this second quarter.
Here's Jurado squaring up with McNeely. Pardon me, with McCluskey. Down for Brambila. Jurado cuts right, has space, fires, it's over the head of Waltman. Falls for Placencia at the backside.
Boy, that was a good move. Quick step over, sent Vince McCluskey for a hot dog out to the right-hand side. Doing great work there.
Jurado, the same move, puts it in the mixer this time. And Pereira chips it clear. Knocked away from Ramos by Gonzalez. And Pereira rounds him. Placencia crashes in, wins it. Gonzalez pressing forward, has Jurado to his right. Goes to him, and Waltman saves it with his chest. Second shot rattled upward and headed back into the hands of Danny Waltman, who's going to go straight away for the outlet to Ramos. Martinez off his line, and he'll play it. Open goal here. Pereira jumps over a sliding tackle. Adrian Polito chases it to the near boards.
Flexing the athleticism there, Nick Pereira with a touch over to the top of the sliding defender, and I know he wanted to take that shot on the first time. He saw the keeper out of the goal off his line.
Here's Polito, gone down low. Brambila, no dice. Headed back, it's loose in front of goal, won't go in. And Hansen nearly headed in the own goal there.
And Waltman, he's doing a really good job at closing off those awkward angles. And here comes the high press from Turlock, throwing 2 against Waltman.
Hoofed clear by Caceres, but turned over. Martin Arista. Cut to the left for Polito.
You're going to see a little bit more out of that of Turlock, just being able to go and send a guy on Waltman, leave somebody in the midfield open. That's going to let the Stars be able to just lob a ball downfield and get a 2-on-1 quickly.
Gutierrez stood up by McCluskey. McCluskey gone ahead. Has to slow up his run. Tried to send that cross to Canale right away. And deflected off Gutierrez.
That's good stand up by Gutierrez, being able to just get anything he can on that. He knows there's a runner wide open in the middle of the field.
Another turnover, this time to Cox. More support for Turlock though. Jermaine Brambila.
Some fancy footwork from Brambilla right there on the Stars logo, just being able to turn away from the Rafael Cox slide tackle.
Martinez gone over the top. Gutierrez is there. Fires at point blank range. Waltman stands strong at the post. Megson along the far boards. Gone down under pressure. Here's McNeely. Slips it through to Canale. Ball's behind him though. Canale cuts right, is tripped, and goes down. Jermaine chops down Canale just outside the arc.
Look, I know that there's no plus-minus stat in MASL like the NBA, but if there was, Evan McNeely would be through the roof. Everything that he is doing tonight on his welcome home tour has been nothing short of fantastic. He just poked that pass through to Canale. Canale does a great job at just getting a touch ahead and then wearing that tackle down to the turf. Great free kick set up for Pereira.
3 in the wall for Turlock. Pereira cuts it short. McNeely fires through. Martinez tips it wide. Ramos fires. That ball's low. Rafael Cox can't get to the rebound, and Valadez will almost knock it clear. Gonzalez gets the ball, passes Ramos. Can't equal the feat himself.
You know, that's twice on set pieces now that the Stars have looked to set up McNeely so that he's able to get his left-footed strike that he likes so much. And I think that they're really trying to pin this in. They want McNeely to be able to score on these set pieces and get him back into the groove of things so he doesn't have that stint of going with no goals.
Campos spins, fires, blocked by Keats. Rebound comes his way. And the long-range shot from Jurado careens off the crossbar.
Inches away from being a beauty on the upper shelf.
This is Gonzalez. Adrian Polito shovels it to Martinez. Up for Placencia. Nowhere to go for Turlock right now, Peyton.
It's great pressure from Tacoma. They're really playing tight man-to-man defense that's not allowing them to make easy passes.
Loose ball bouncing through. Headed out by McNeely. Ramos works his way to the boards. Turned over into a scrum. Here's Echeverria. Low ball. Rebound comes loose in the middle. Can't be cashed in by Joaquin Rea.
You know, the Stars were under a lot of pressure right there, and I think that they were trying to play a little bit of hero ball, just trying to get a touch out and do it themselves. They were one pass away from making it downfield onto a quick counterattack, but they weren't able to find that one pass as Derek Johnson's on his first touch of the night.
That's E. Gray. Getting it off to Antoniuk. Nagel.
Well, if the Stars were able to play simple back there in their own defensive third and just drop the ball back, it will open up so many more passing lanes downfield rather than being the guy who's double-teamed and looking for that ball downfield in the counterattack.
Waltman up to Johnson. Laid off for Douglas. In against Gutierrez, back for El Johnson.
Now you
Feels
got
like almost 2.5 minutes since Turlock's had to touch the ball, Peyton. Pardon me.
Oh, now you looking at this attack, you have Johnson still playing the post. He has Campos on him now. He had Rhea, which is a better size matchup for Johnson, but now we're going to see how they play with Campos on him.
Johnson tiptoes through the tulips, looking for McCluskey. That ball bouncing, comes off the glass. Hansen. Canale available short. Gets it. Now the ball in for Canale. Canale slips it through! Leave the gun! Take the Canale! Alessandro makes it 4-0.
And that's beautifully done by the Stars. The great buildup, and the man out of Venice, California, Alessandro Canale, just being able to slide that ball home. Didn't have a whole lot of time. He turned, he looked, and was able to keep it on the carpet, putting it in the back of the net. Stars get their 4th goal, 6:47 remaining in this first half, and the Stars, they have a commanding lead. Now, we've seen teams fight back from this, but this is looking great for Tacoma here early.
Here it is again, just the quality of that ball in from Keats. I mean, equaled by the quality of the finish. It's just beautiful arena soccer.
And the turf, it catches the ball so much, you can throw so much English onto that ball, and it's going to bite hard. So Keats knows that when he hits that first ball, hits it with the outside of his foot, get that outside spin, and it's going to land right in the lap of Alessandro Canale.
You're watching the Tacoma Stars on MASL TV. Catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.tv. Well, Tacoma now, 4-0. They lead against Turlock Cal Express at home after that last goal by Canale. And Tacoma, just a very convincing, controlling performance so far.
This is fantastic. This is stuff that, you saw toward in the second half against Harrisburg, a very good Eastern Conference team coming over the West, and you saw Tacoma come back from the death down 6-1. And that second half, you would never complain about things that they did. Tacoma had 7 goals in the second half alone, 3 in the third quarter, 4 in the fourth quarter, and now you're seeing a little bit of that tonight. They have 4 goals in the opening first half so far, 6:47 left to play in it, and they are still rolling. There are more goals to come.
The MASL podcast returns for the 2019-2020 season. Join us as we talk to players, officials, and coaches from across the league and take you behind the scenes of the MASL. Check out MASLsoccer.com to listen to past episodes and subscribe to the official MASL podcast on Apple Podcasts. Peyton for Turlock right now, trailing by 4. Tacoma's overcome that, and after that great start to the year that Turlock had, really things have not gone their way, particularly on the road. What has to happen in the next 6 minutes and 47 seconds for them to take something positive into the break at halftime?
You got to rely on your Stars, and you can't come out empty-handed at the end of this game. You got to be able to, at the end of this half. You got to put one up onto the board, because a 3-goal comeback in the second half isn't unheard of. But if you go in down 4, down 5 into that second half, that's going to be a tough mountain to try and climb to the top of. And so look at your Stars, look at Jurado, look at guys who can score for you consistently, and rely on them. Put them into good positions. Let them knock the ball around. They only have 5 shots. They really got to start throwing the ball, or throwing shots on frame. They're testing Waltman from awkward angles, but get in front of goal. Hammer him from the middle of the paint and be able to make Waltman defend to his right and his left.
Echeverria tried to get that back to Valadez. He puts it in the net.
Because so far today, we've seen Waltman play great, but he's been hugged up against the post a lot. A lot of shots have come from the corners, and it's with Waltman making saves with a shoulder on the post. Nothing's going to beat him near post there.
Douglas shoulders his way through, nearly slipped it through Martinez's legs. Megson tees up the volley, feels there was a shove on his back. Pereira rattles it off a defender's head and immediately offers his hand by way of an apology to Echeverria.
That's a great save by Edgar Martinez. Douglas coming down on the near side, great left foot, keeping it low, and he's able to try and smash in. Edgar Martinez just falling to the deck there, being able to spread the legs, kind of like a hockey goalkeeper. He's able to just pin that ball to the ground, make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. Now the Stars got a free kick on the near side boards.
Pereira's over the ball as Keats is the drop. Ramos is the ahead option. Scoops it to Antoniuk on the far board. Antoniuk for Douglas. Douglas cutting inside, pulls it back to the right. Little bit of space against Germain, who sticks a foot in and holds up the run. Keats Ramos, the return from Pereira. Ramos still going. Had everyone going except himself. Drop back for Antoniuk. Pereira. He was thinking bicycle all the way. Just a pile of bodies inside the arc now as the ball comes back the way of Caceres.
Almost everything is coming off for Tacoma right now.
And Ramos slips that through! A second of the night for Ramos. He did it all himself.
Look, when it rains in Tacoma, it pours, and Mike Ramos was able to just slide that ball in. I said almost everything is coming off for Tacoma, and right there it really shows that you can make something out of nothing. Ramos from a very tough angle, that far right side, he just smashes that ball down low. If you rewind a couple of minutes back to where he's putting everybody on the deck, everyone's on high alert when Mike Ramos has the ball. Here he is again. He goes over to the right side, just floating, and then he just takes a little bit of a strike to that far post. So dangerous, so cheeky, so clever. It's just so simple for Mike Ramos to be able to hammer that shot. A guy who is one of the league leaders in shots on frame. It's just bound to happen that some of them are going to fall into the net for Ramos.
Waltman, rare missed clearance from him. Goes to Gutierrez, turned over to Matt Max.
You know, a game like this, the Stars are up 5-0. You really want to see guys get production outside of your stars and make sure that those guys are ready for this long stretch down the road. I would love to see Lamar Nagel get on the stat sheet and be able to boost up his confidence before, you know, crunch time comes down. The Stars are really fighting for that playoff spot. Because right now, Lamar is sitting in a place where he's got 3 goals on the season and no assists. He's a very talented player coming into his own in MASL. He has a very decorated MLS career. So seeing him get comfortable in MASL, which is a very challenging sport to get comfortable in, he's doing a great job of it.
Canale has Cox on the overlap. Cox comes off the boards. Ramos. And that ball just shinned it, bounced up a little bit too high on him.
That close to the Hattie. He's on 2 right now, and if he could have had a first half hat trick, he would have been flying high into the locker room. And that's a great buildup from Rafael Cox, just being able to get down. He saw he didn't have a great angle on the shot, so he just smashes the ball off the boards, knowing he has support in the middle.
13-5, the current shot battle in favor of Tacoma. As Martinez knocks this ball in for Campos. Campos lifts it skyward. McNeely giving chase. Ball bounces on top of the board, stays in play. Douglas has it nicked away by Campos. Juan Gonzalez for Arista. Turlock, I think, wants a change. Jurado calls for it. Just past him, though. And Douglas knocks it back to McNeely.
That's a great, smart play from Douglas there. Not trying to force it downfield where there was a runner in Canale, but he looks back and sees Evan McNeely there with his hands wide open, just looking for the ball, and he finds it. Now the Stars, they were able to get a change. Now you're going into the attack.
Antoniuk tracking that ball, comes off the stanchion in the penalty box. Gates fighting against Germain. Juan Gonzalez charges in. Gets the ball to Juan Gonzalez. Antoniuk gets in front of him, though. Stars have it back. Diagonal ball, can't quite reach Lamar Nagel. Jurado quickly ahead for Campos.
That ball should have been lobbed in the air over the top for Lamar.
Jurado really quarterbacking this Turlock offense tonight, telling people where to go, when to send the ball.
Look, and you need a guy who's able to direct traffic, and for the Stars, that's Nick Pereira. Pereira tells people where to go so much, and a lot of the times he is so correct on all of his calls.
McCluskey wins it away after a scrum, plays himself off the boards. McCluskey in the area. McCluskey, and a whistle's gone all the way back to the other end of the field. Boy, you'd think that had better be on Lamar Nagel if a free kick's been given, because it just broke up a Tacoma Stars fast break. And the referee is indicating that Lamar Nagel's the guilty party.
Oh no, Vince McCluskey is not going to be happy about that. And there's a push right there. Lamar Nagel taking a shoulder off the camera from Plasencia.
He and Anibal Echeverria probably not exchanging pleasantries down there.
Vince McCluskey was in on goal. Beautiful build-up for Vince off the wall to himself. He's going one-on-one with the keeper. Had a little bit of a rollover in there, but just a tough play, and you lose your head for just a second, and that could have cost the Stars a goal. This could be 6-0 right now with 2:16 going into the intermission.
Just a free kick, and it's Adrian Gutierrez lined up over it. Nagel and Pereira in the wall. Gutierrez strikes a low ball. Tied up with Echeverria is Waltman, and McCluskey will shuffle the ball clear.
So if the foul off the ball isn't enough to, consider a blue card there, that's totally out of the play and into the attack. You got to wonder what is going to get the refs to draw a blue card out of their pocket tonight. That's the message that I'm picking up from the referees for these players tonight, and we've seen it called very tightly, very close. But now you got to wonder, if that challenge isn't going to necessitate one, what will?
A couple of questionable boarding calls as well. Nagel wins that away, has Hansen to his left, cuts it to the left side. Pereira steps into it. He's tripped up. And boy, Rayo was nowhere near the ball on that challenge. Still with Pereira down in the corner. He chips it in the middle. Hansen lifts it away, and now it's going to be a foot race recovering backward as that ball goes out of play. But unless I really missed my sight on that, Nick Pereira got absolutely cleaned out, and Rhea did not get the ball. Bit of a free-flowing game now. A lot of turnovers in the middle of the field. Derek Johnson, double-teamed, gone down, and that will lead to a whistle. I think that might be a temperature control whistle from the referee.
And yeah, slow things down, get this tempo out a little bit. Both players, both teams are all going back and forth, hard hitting with each other. Here's one thing that Tacoma is really making a difference in tonight that we've seen for the rest of the season. These runs are incredible. Players are overlapping. There's always 2 or 3 options on every single run, and it's been spectacular play off the ball for Tacoma tonight, and I expect it to continue into the second half.
60 seconds remaining in the first half. 60 seconds.
Under a minute to go in the first half. McNeely just plays it down the boards. Derek Johnson, defended by Matt Max. And goes back to McNeely. Stars milking the clock here.
And they're comfortable. There's no reason to stress for a 6th goal. Just keep your clean sheet going into the first half. And that's huge. I don't know how many times this season that the Stars have been able to put together 2 consecutive quarters of shutout ball.
Waltman going long. Derek Johnson. Matt Max right on his heels. Ramos available in the middle. 10 seconds. Caceres back for Waltman. And the Stars, I think, are going to be content to sit on this lead and go into the break up by 5 goals. 5-0, 2 apiece from Ramos and Pereira, and 1 more from Alessandro Canali as we head to halftime here on MASL TV.
One day, they'll be doctors and teachers and leaders. Might seem like a long way off, but it's never too early to learn great habits, like saving for their future. That's why the BECU Early Saver account has one of the best rates in the country. To encourage the next generation and help them understand the little things they do now can grow into something very big. We're BECU, and we're altogether different.
Success is playing at the highest level. Success is the roar of the crowd. Success is the rush of scoring a goal. Success is your family cheering you on. Success is being the largest youth program in the state. For every kid in Washington, success starts here at Washington Youth Soccer.
Look, that's you. And this is your thriving community. There's your neighbor, the chatty one. And here, at the heart of it all, is your money. When you chose Sound Credit Union, you got fewer fees and better rates. You joined us in supporting local organizations. And you got a great app to manage your money. Welcome to your future. You're gonna love it here. Sound Credit Union. Invested in we. All Washingtonians welcome.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for tonight's game. I'm Tacoma Stars public address announcer Randy McNair. Tonight's game-worn jerseys were uniquely and specifically designed for tonight's celebration, a limited edition Tacoma Stars jersey. Now, here's the really cool thing about it. These jerseys are available for you to take home. If you're watching on MASL TV, we'll mail the jersey to you. Now, this is all because we are having a live jersey auction during tonight's game. That's right, all game-worn Tacoma Stars jerseys are available for you to take home. Now, we have changed the live jersey auction. It's easier than ever before, and it's all possible through the Live Source app on your mobile device. That's right, download the Live Source app through your app store on your mobile device to bid on tonight's game-worn Tacoma Stars jerseys. Now, the app is easy to find, it's free to use, and here's the important part. It's easy to use. I've downloaded it myself. This is how you use it.
Go to the App Store on your mobile device and type in Live Source. It's the app icon with the 3 yellow lines. Once you download the app, create an account. For location, click on Kent, Washington. Enter your card information for easy payment options, and once you're completed with that, you are set to start bidding. Once again, there's no need to get up and check on your item. You can bid from the convenience of your seat.
Now, once you download the app and use the app, there is absolutely no obligation. You can go in there, check out the jerseys, see where your favorite player's jersey is bidding at, and once again, you can bid from the convenience of your seat. If you're watching on MASL TV, you can bid right from home. So head to your app store, download the Live Source app on your mobile device, and bid on tonight's limited edition Tacoma Stars game-worn jerseys. Enjoy tonight's game, everybody. Happy bidding.
Get your tickets now at TacomaStars.com.
One day, they'll be doctors and teachers and leaders. Might seem like a long way off, but it's never too early to learn great habits, like saving for their future. That's why the BECU Early Saver account has one of the best rates in the country. To encourage the next generation and help them understand the little things they do now can grow into something very big. We're BECU, and we're altogether different.
Success is playing at the highest level. Success is the roar of the crowd. Success is the rush of scoring a goal. Success is your family cheering you on. Success is being the largest youth program in the state. For every kid in Washington, success starts here at Washington Youth Soccer.
Look, that's you. And this is your thriving community. There's your neighbor, the chatty one. And here, at the heart of it all, is your money. When you chose Sound Credit Union, you got fewer fees and better rates. You joined us in supporting local organizations. And you got a great app to manage your money. Welcome to your future. You're gonna love it here. Sound Credit Union, invested in we. All Washingtonians welcome.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for tonight's game. I'm Tacoma Stars public address announcer Randy McNair. Tonight's game-worn jerseys were uniquely and specifically designed for tonight's celebration, a limited edition Tacoma Stars jersey. Now, here's the really cool thing about it. These jerseys are available for you to take home. If you're watching on MASL TV, we'll mail the jersey to you. Now, this is all because we are having a live jersey auction during tonight's game. That's right, all game-worn Tacoma Stars jerseys are available for you to take home. Now, we have changed the live jersey auction. It's easier than ever before, and it's all possible through the Live Source app on your mobile device. That's right, download the Live Source app through your app store on your mobile device to bid on tonight's game-worn Tacoma Stars jerseys. Now, the app is easy to find, it's free to use, and here's the important part. It's easy to use. I've downloaded it myself. This is how you use it.
Go to the App Store on your mobile device and type in Live Source. It's the app icon with the 3 yellow lines. Once you download the app, create an account. For location, click on Kent, Washington. Enter your card information for easy payment options, and once you're completed with that, you are set to start bidding. Once again, there's no need to get up and check on your item. You can bid from the convenience of your seat.
Now, once you download the app and use the app, there is absolutely no obligation. You can go in there, check out the jerseys, see where your favorite player's jersey is bidding at, and once again, you can bid from the convenience of your seat. If you're watching on MASL TV, you can bid right from home. So head to your app store, download the Live Source app on your mobile device, and bid on tonight's limited edition Tacoma Stars game-worn jerseys. Enjoy tonight's game, everybody. Happy bidding.
One day, they'll be doctors and teachers and leaders. Might seem like a long way off, but it's never too early to learn great habits, like saving for their future. That's why the BECU Early Saver account has one of the best rates in the country. to encourage the next generation and help them understand the little things they do now can grow into something very big. We're BECU, and we're altogether different.
Success is playing at the highest level. Success is the roar of the crowd. Success is the rush of scoring a goal. Success is your family cheering you on. Success is being the largest youth program in the state. For every kid in Washington, success starts here at Washington Youth Soccer.
Look, that's you. And this is your thriving community. There's your neighbor, the chatty one. And here, at the heart of it all, is your money. When you chose Sound Credit Union, you got fewer fees and better rates. You joined us.
Nearly a perfect first half for Tacoma Stars there in the early stages for the first stanza going on. 5-0 leading here at the ShoWare Center, and it was a beautiful first half, Andrew. Like, I can't say much more about it other than they played perfect. The runs off the ball were extremely beautiful. A couple of braces thrown in there. It was excellent work from the Stars.
Absolutely. My apologies on that. I forgot to take our mics off mute. I guess that means I'm buying beer for the crew when this one is over. But there will be some Tacoma players that might owe one another a beer. It was a very eventful first half, and let's take a look now at some of our first half highlights.
And, you know, the Tacoma Stars just started scoring early here. Pereira was able to get onto the board with a quick counterattack early, 30 seconds into the game. He's able to smash that through, and that's where Tacoma's problems have been the last few games, is scoring early in the first quarter. We saw them bag 3 goals in the first quarter today, and it was a glorious way to start out the game, especially last week against Harrisburg, where they were slow out of the gates. It took them a while to be able to get clicking, and so now you're seeing them just click at all cylinders are firing. Hansen, ball off the boards, oh so well, being able to just set up Nick Pereira for his second on the night. It was a beautiful way for the Tacoma Stars to be able to just answer back from last week and not being able to score early, trying to climb back. They lost last week 11-10. They set themselves up for failure from the get-go. Tonight, it's all success. It's theirs to win. They got to defend well in the second half, and the first half being able to put up a goose egg for the other team, that's impressive in this league. Any way to be able to just shut out a team for any amount of time, 1 quarter, 2 quarters. Let's see how long Danny Waltman can keep this clean sheet.
Absolutely, and his defense in front of him has been doing a big job of that. Evan McNeely, who again was traded back to the Stars yesterday from the Ontario Fury, who, by the way, are also up 5-0 against the Mesquite Outlaws at the moment. But what has he brought to the match tonight?
Evan McNeely's played nearly a perfect first half. He's won every challenge that he's been on. He has played incredible through balls that set up the break. He set up the Canale's assist there earlier in the game where he just lobs the ball over the top, knowing that Canale is just poaching on the attack. He's been near perfect tonight. He's a great addition to this team. He's physical. He's a bruiser, as players are called, and he's able to do all the little stuff well, the passing, the shooting. He's got one wicked left foot. He's going to score here in the second half tonight because they are teeing him up beautifully.
Speaking of bruising, it's been a bit of a chippy game. Referees have stayed on top of it. 5 fouls for Tacoma, 7 for Turlock Express. But at what point do you expect to see a blue card? And if you don't see one, how chippy could this game get?
You know, this game could get really chippy, and we've seen these two teams play physical, especially against the boards. We've already seen Pereira go into the glass, McCluskey into the boards. Tacoma, yeah, they got, 5 fouls on the night so far. They've tried to stay out of it a little bit, but of course this game's going to go either way. I think early these referees are going to set a tone. If there's one tough challenge, same as teams, they just had a team talk in the locker room, these referees, and they know that if there's one tough challenge, they're going to assess a blue card to make sure that they are still in charge of this game. They're taking control, and they're going to make sure that both teams are playing nicely with each other out here on the playground. 5-0 for Tacoma, though, so you got to expect that's the Express. It's Cal Turlock, who have a little bit of fire underneath their belt. They're a little edgy after that first half performance, and they need to change the tone a little bit. I expect them to come out. They're going to be the aggressors. They're going to be the ones dropping the shoulder. And if somebody's going to go to the sin bin early, I'm going to assume it's going to be somebody from Turlock.
Well, certainly for Turlock, there's nowhere but up for them to go after that first half. 0 goals on 6 shots as the team's making their way back out now for the start of the second half. For Tacoma, Waltman's in goal, Antonia, Caceres, Derek Johnson, Lamar Nagel, and Vince McCluskey. For Turlock, it's Valadez, Juan Gonzalez, Ivan Campos, Echeverria, Germain, and unless I am much mistaken, it appears that there has been Pereira, Ramos, back to Hansen. Rafael Cox, quick ball downfield, pokes it in for Ramos, knocked away that time. Here's Jurado. Taken down by Cox. Jurado let out a loud yelp along the far corner boards, wins the free kick.
And Chase Hansen, he's pleading his case, saying, hey, there wasn't much contact there. It's a little bit of diving here on the far side boards, but it's going to get called. We saw it get called earlier, and Chase Hansen just coming up on the back end of it. He's played a rather clean match, Chase Hansen, doing a great job standing up his defenders, getting the nice toe pokes in, clipping the ball away. Right now, you have a dangerous free kick set up, far side boards. You got the lefty over it, a couple of different options. If Chase Hansen bites upward, they're going to play this ball all the way across the paint to this near side for Jermaine.
Restart to Jurado. Nagel in on the slide. Waltman has it.
Steady hands out of Danny Waltman as that ball was ripped right towards him, and he's able, no bobble at all, and that's what you love to see out of your goalkeeper in MASL.
Waltman ran out of time there, just had to let fly toward Douglas. Germain down the boards. Placencia is there. Placencia, that one rattles around. Pereira tips it wide. Second shot, this one should drop in nicely for Waltman, grabs it off the head and throws it downfield for Corey Keats. Keats with Polito in defense. Keats just has it go. And that is pretty easy stuff for Carvalho there.
You got to love seeing your defensive midfielder like that, and Corey Keats, who's really an anchor for this team, break out on the point and just try and be able to get into the attack. He saw where the ball was and immediately knew his role as a forward, as the pushed up most man to be able to put his head down, run forward. Evan McNeely with another great tackle.
Adrian Gutierrez, ball tackled away from him. Douglas drops back to Waltman, has to play it outside the arc. And the return to Douglas. Nagel has it take a bad bounce. Gutierrez has it back for Turlock. Rea going to ground, maintaining possession, and now just given away to Caceres. Ball looped outside. Nagel has it play off his thigh. Douglas making the run at the far side. Matt Max comes reaching in and takes down Lamar Nagel. Another free kick for Tacoma.
Lamar's going to be feeling that one tomorrow. That's a tough one when you're falling on this turf, full speed, take the shoulder from Matt Max and hit the deck hard. I'm really surprised that there wasn't even a talking to there because Matt Max had no intention of going for the ball. He went upper body on Nagel. Nagel goes over the bench and he takes a seat. That's not something you see in MASL. Here's the foul one more time with Nagel coming up the right-hand side, and he wears the challenge.
Yeah, it might be outright Furiosa. That just free kick was given there against Matt Max. Caceres drops us into the corner. Pereira backing up Echeverria. McCluskey recovers the partial clearance.
The Stars were very stagnant right there with Pereira's back to the goal, and that's something that we didn't see at all in the first half. We saw the Stars making runs that are just shooting around Pereira, and right there, we did not see anyone moving. There was 4 guys opposite side of the field not trying to get open, and they left Pereira on an island.
Ramos wins it back against Echeverria, scoops it inside just past the foot of McCluskey. Turned right back over to Ramos, who fires, and it's tipped up by Carvalho.
Right place, right time for Ramos as that ball just clipped back into him after he tried sending it. He had a wide open chance. Everyone moved over to the other side. Ramos.
Pereira fires. That one skitters off the boards.
Rafael Cox had a great game plan there. He knew exactly where he was going to go with that ball. He knew there was people in pursuit, so he just headed it backwards a little bit, gave himself a little time to collect his speed.
Rafael Cox driving left here. Rounds a couple of defenders. That one almost bounces right to the foot of Pereira in front of goal. Megson underneath it, shoulders it back to McNeely.
Here's a tough ball back into Waltman, funneling down towards the boards. Takes care of it. Well done, though. And here's Megson all the way back in the defensive half. We still haven't seen a whole lot of organized high pressure out of Turlock here starting into the second half, and when you're trailing 5, you really just got to start throwing numbers forward and double team where you can and take risks. Megson going for a change on the far side. Nagel's going to come back. Hansen in trouble under the double team, and quick shot. Waltman coming up huge. Stars dodging bullets back here in their defensive half. There was the high pressure out of Turlock, and Waltman was able to stand it up.
Chop ball toward Campos. Long range shot. Safely grabbed by Waltman. Now the quick outlet, Canali. Won't get there, it's headed away. Gutierrez. Cutting inside, Waltman off his line, rounding the defender. The cutback cross, just no one in support for Turlock. Now Canali. He stood up by a hard tackle, but a fair one from Plasencia. Campos lifts that in, McNeely bats it down. And Keats down the boards for McCluskey. And Keats wins it from the scrum. Has Canali, has McCluskey, goes for Canali. Canali taps it back, McCluskey! Denied his earlier goal, but makes good in the third quarter. Tacoma leads 6-0.
Hustle and heart is what got that goal for Tacoma, because it was Corey Keats on the far side boards just in front of the bench, being able to battle, being able to push and shove off balance and get downfield, being able to throw everything forward, make sure that ball keeps moving forward, and then he was able to find the far side in Canale, who's able to set up McCluskey. Well done out of the Stars, just playing that perfect counterattack, had the numbers going forward. They're just able to pass it around very simply, don't force anything, and McCluskey found a wide open net when he was in the middle of the box. There's Keats just taking his time. Canali laying off, and McCluskey with the left foot, surely finishing.
His first goal of the night, his 5th goal of the season.
Here's Adrian Polito from long range, and you have to think that this is mostly stemming from frustration settling in for Turlock. They had a good run of play there leading up to that goal, which honestly came against the run of the last 5 minutes of play, and they still trail 6-0.
And they got the shot off, and it's been the one blemish on the Stars tonight was that mistake. Chase Hansen just playing a square ball in the back, didn't have any support there, but Waltman was able to come up and save the day. And if Turlock keeps letting frustration play out and try and fire these shots, they're not going to get anything done. Tacoma mentally has this game won. They're playing great defensively. They're not trying to dive and make mistakes anywhere. They're doing a great job at keeping their composure, doing what they do, and making sure that this game plan is executed.
Well, outside of being on the team, the best way to know what's happening in the MSL is to tune in to Kick This. Every weekend, Soccer Sam discusses the ins and outs of all the MSL action. Find Kick This every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on iHeartRadio. Oh, Peyton, this, just some really, really impressive stuff. And you see there, James Woolard, Sounders FC public address announcer, was just being shown on the Jumbotron here. Just part of that tremendously interwoven Puget Sound soccer scene. Everybody knows everybody around here, Peyton.
And, it's great to see guys from Sounders being able to come down and celebrate with the Tacoma Stars, because this really is a huge soccer community. I mean, we saw MLS Cup was in the house for opening night here with the Tacoma Stars, and there's just so much of Seattle soccer woven into this Tacoma Stars team.
Great ball there, finds Ramos. Ramos goes to his left. Ramos fires. It comes off the post and right back to him. He squares it back for Antoniuk, and that one rattles off the boards. Douglas swings and I think got more of a Turlock player than he did at the ball there. Oh, Ramos thought he had his hat trick there, Peyton.
That's twice now they've missed out on it tonight.
Nice move from Douglas. Cuts inside, just off the head of Pereira. Couldn't bring that ball back down. Antoniuk. Back for Ramos. Crashing in goes Echeverria. That's a rash challenge, and now Ramos tripped up outside the box. Boy, Mike Ramos is going to need a bodyguard out there at this rate.
His touches there were so clinical, so beautiful, just playing inside of a little box, and that ball does not ever get outside of that imaginary box that Ramos has around him. Look at him just touch and dance around these defenders. Some guys just have it. That is natural. That is pure given talent.
Caceres goes low. Shot from Rafael Cox. Kicks around and is picked up by Carvalho. Jermaine, square for Gutierrez. Campos, Plasencia on as well. Juan Gonzalez. And comes the way of Plasencia.
Last week we saw a lot of the Tacoma Stars not being able to track back on defense all the time. And I think Evan McNeely has really lit a spark under this team, because when he just went for a line change up 6-0, that man put his head down and went on a 100-meter dash over for the boards. And you see all the Stars doing that.
Rafael Cox was surprised the kick was given against him. Campos is over the ball. Campos cuts it square. Gutierrez lets fly, comes off the left board. Pereira ties up Campos, who sticks a foot in there, and I think got Nick Pereira in a sensitive area.
Campos very understanding of why Nick Pereira went down, and I think we're going to get a drop ball call as Nick Pereira had that ball on top of his lap.
The ball was unplayable. Campos tried to play it. Everyone's all smiles, though. That's what you hope for in a situation like that. Drop ball. Campos got the first touch. Carvalho. Well, just didn't connect with that ball the way he intended to.
This is a good-looking line you have here. Evan McNeely, Lamar Nagel, Douglas, Nick Pereira at the point, and Corey Keats all the way back.
Waltman up for Pereira. Matt Max for Carvalho. Gone over the top. This one could fall in. Waltman had it gauged. That's a lot of confidence for a keeper to just stand right there and let that ball come to you. Pereira in along the far board. McNeely. Square option to Keats wasn't available. He'll work it back.
You know, this is good possession for Tacoma. This is all that they need to do, really. Up 6-0, you don't need to throw high pressure on the keeper. And going back to that last, possession that Turlock had, Carl Hall just booted the ball downfield and let Waltman wait for it.
Pereira cutting it square. Too long for Antonio, and now it's a turnover. Jurado trying to lead a fast break, but he's the only man coming for it. And he has it turned over as he was trying to round backward to knock the ball back to his teammates. You can see the frustration in his body language, Peyton.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of frustration out here when you come out and you haven't scored for 2.5 quarters. You're going into the third, and you don't have much pressure on the goal. It's tough to keep your composure and keep your thoughts because all you're thinking about is, wow, we're getting shut down right now. How are we going to fix this? And there's been no fix for it for Turlock.
Caceres sends crossfield for Hansen. Rafael Cox wants that bouncing ball for Canali. Pulido in defense. Canali spins goalward. Canali dancing his way through. Canali tripped up. Ball caught up in a pile of players. Works its way free. Rafael Cox with it here. Stars slowing down the tempo. Canali, the return for Ramos. First touch got away from him. Jurado is whistled for the free kick.
Wow, I was not expecting that to get called there. I thought Ramos just tangled up his own feet on the run. But amazing that that's the one that gets called right here. And if I was Turlock, I'd be very upset with that sort of call. And all the players are kind of sitting back.
Ball come to the mark. Caceres, Pereira standing over it.
Say it again, they're going to set up McNeely here on the right side.
Pereira has a go himself.
I'll say it again, I'm wrong.
I love the confidence, though, Peyton.
Look, I love assessing confidence as if, I know a thing or two.
Well, and here's the thing. McNeely being there almost gave Pereira that option. This is McNeely. And you can expect to see a lot of this out of Tacoma over the next little while. Pereira fires, comes back off the glass. Caceres is there, leaves it for McNeely. Awkward ball, but he finds Ramos. Ramos for Caceres. Ramos, dangerous now, has an opportunity to try to toy with his defenders. Pereira picks out Rafael Cox.
For Tacoma, it's going to be important for them to keep their health all the way through this game.
Rafael Cox creates some space here. He's driving forward. Pereira down low. The Cox return does not come off. Velades puts his foot on the ball, trips over it, but does enough to break up the return pass.
Pereira wasn't happy with that pass because he knows once he let that pass go and the defender kind of sagged off, he knew he should have just shot that.
Douglas moving ahead. Defenders were slow to close, but Keats couldn't square his hips for the pass, pardon me. Nagel, Douglas.
The Stars have great vision diagonally. They're able to just thread these passes through defenders and just be able to find each other perfectly. It's a good chemistry and good spacing.
Nagel has a go. Carvalho kicks it into the net.
Sometimes that's all you need to do. Nagel, seeing they didn't have much passing options, fire a low shot, hope it ricochets, hope it deflects, and now you set yourself up for a corner kick. Look at the give and go. Nagel made a great run.
Canali down low. Nagel wanted back post. Antoniuk was there. He's one away from 50 on his career. Still loose. Campos. Bit of a Cruyff turn to send it wide. For Gutierrez, one-on-one, and gets the first goal of the night for the visitors, breaking up the shutout.
Heck of a pass out of the defensive end. Gutierrez just being able to outpace. He had the hustle. He put his head down. He's hustling. And look at that ball, just low. It's a missile on the ground. And then it slows up. It's a beautiful, beautiful ball. Just breaking on the green perfectly, and it slows down, hits the brakes right when it needs to, being able to let Gutierrez tap that home past Waltman with 2 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Well, you kind of alluded to it earlier, shutout, such a rare thing in the MASL, Peyton. And it's almost kind of like a perfect game in baseball. Even as a broadcaster, you don't want to talk about it too much until the fourth quarter. And it gets broken up right there, but it has been a strong defensive performance from Tacoma, and if they can count on that, they can surely see this clear for the win.
I was really hoping for a clean sheet because Tacoma's played near perfect tonight. And you know, it reminds me a lot of that Monterey game where Tacoma didn't play perfect in the Monterey game, but they hustled and they did all the little things right. They won their challenges. They put themselves into correct positions, and they did all the nitty-gritty to be able to get a win. Tonight, they're doing all the nitty-gritty, and it's showing on the defensive end, only giving up 1 goal through 3 quarters thus far.
So far, Tacoma still the only team to hang a loss on the Monterey Flash. 15-1. They head up the Western Conference right now. Keats. Driving forward, plays it back off the boards, and it's chipped in by Alex Megson. Another wonder goal from 77 for the 7th of the night for the Stars.
And you mentioned it earlier, Alex Megson likes to strike a pose, and he fired an arrow at the goal after he scores that one. Corey Keats just had the defender on him, and he smashes the ball off the boards. But Alex Megson doing what he did against Monterey. Just put himself into the right position, let the ball hit off his body, and it deflects into the net. That's great work. Alex Megson just being able to turn something out of nothing. And he kicks the ball into the stands that has the fans climbing over walls. This is incredible stuff at the show where here's Corey Keats again. Man on his back and just kind of pokes that off the boards. And there's Megson. He used the thigh, using every part of his body to score this season. He scored a bicycle kick. He scored using his chest on a deflection. And now he has thigh'd a ball. And has this man just scored regularly? Does he have any goals? He's maybe just shot on the carpet? I don't know.
Hey, they all count the same in the back of the net, eh, Peyton?
Oh. I asked him for a bicycle kick, but I'll take this any night of the week. What a touch.
Nagel there was hoping for the return from Canali. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Tacoma well ahead. They lead by 6. Nagel trying to leave off for Douglas there. Carvalho forced to play it outside his area. Nagel gone down on contact from the back. Not going to get that call.
You know, something Nagel's been doing great tonight is these give and goes. He's making fantastic runs off of him, wide open into space.
Canali, lovely first touch. Trying to play himself through. That came off a defender's arm. Inside the arc. And it was Velada, the guilty party, just had his arms well away from his body. Canali flicked it forward, and the defender batted it away.
4.2 seconds left. You got to set something up to shoot here. You don't want to really just pass this ball around and let this clock run out. Put up 8 on the board through the first 3 quarters.
Pereira over the ball. Scuffs it toward Caceres, who fires and whisks wide. 2.5 to play, and that'll pretty much see us out here in the third.
We had a good look at that. Caceres was looking for that upper far post corner and just trying to curl it. What a lot of guys do in the outdoor game when they're trying to hit a ball from the 18-yard line and they're trying to find that far post. But he was just trying to power curl that thing in here with just 4 seconds on the clock, and we go to the fourth.
Well, Turlock breaks up the shutout, but Tacoma bags 2 more. They lead 7-1 as we take a break on MASL TV.
One day, they'll be doctors and teachers and leaders. Might seem like a long way off, but it's never too early to learn great habits. like saving for their future. That's why the BECU Early Saver account has one of the best rates in the country. To encourage the next generation and help them understand the little things they do now can grow into something very big. We're BECU, and we're altogether different.
Success is playing at the highest level. Success is the roar of the crowd. Success is the rush of scoring a goal. Success is your family cheering you on. Success is being the largest youth program in the state. For every kid in Washington, success starts here at Washington Youth Soccer.
Look, that's you. And this is your thriving community. There's your neighbor, the chatty one. And here, at the heart of it all, is your money. When you chose Sound Credit Union, you got fewer fees and better rates. You joined us in supporting local organizations. And you got a great app to manage your money. Welcome to your future. You're gonna love it here. Sound Credit Union, invested in we. All Washingtonians welcome.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for tonight's game. I'm Tacoma Stars public address announcer Randy McNair. Tonight's game-worn jerseys were uniquely and specifically designed for tonight's celebration, a limited edition Tacoma Stars jersey. Now, here's the really cool thing about it. These jerseys are available for you to take home. If you're watching on MASL TV, we'll mail the jersey to you. Now, this is all because we are having a live jersey auction during tonight's game. That's right, all game-worn Tacoma Stars jerseys are available for you to take home. Now, we have changed the live jersey auction. It's easier than ever before, and it's all possible through the Live Source app on your mobile device. That's right, download the Live Source app through your app store on your mobile device to bid on tonight's game-worn Tacoma Stars jerseys. Now, the app is easy to find, it's free to use, and here's the important part. It's easy to use. I've downloaded it myself. This is how you use it.
Go to the App Store on your mobile device and type in Live Source. It's the app icon with the 3 yellow lines. Once you download the app, create an account. For location, click on Kent, Washington. Enter your card information for easy payment options, and once you're completed with that, you are set to start bidding. Once again, there's no need to get up and check on your item. You can bid from the convenience of your seat.
Now, once you download the app and use the app, there is absolutely no obligation. You can go in there, check out the jerseys, see where your favorite player's jersey is bidding at, and once again, you can bid from the convenience of your seat. If you're watching on MASL TV, you can bid right from home. So head to your app store, download the Live Source app on your mobile device, and bid on tonight's limited edition Tacoma Stars game-worn jerseys. Enjoy tonight's game, everybody. Happy bidding.
Welcome back into the ShoWare Center here in Kent, Washington. Through 3 quarters, the Tacoma Stars have a 7-1 lead over the visiting Turlock Cal Express here on MASL TV. I'm Andrew Harvey alongside Peyton Behrens as we rejoin the action for the start of the 4th and final quarter. And Peyton, you could see there in the quarter break just the difference in body language between the two teams over there at their benches.
Yeah, and the Stars, of course, up 7-1, dancing around. They're being happy, and they're talking in their meetings, and they're loosey-goosey, exactly how you want them to be. Nearly every Turlock player was seated on the turf back against the boards, and nobody was talking to one another. I think that there's some frustrations going on within this team where guys are so disgusted with each other that they don't even want to look at each other. I think that we're going to see a lot of hero ball trying to be played by Turlock. There's not going to be much passing. All these guys want to do it on their own. That's the body language that I was interpreting during that quarter break where nobody wanted to talk to one another. They were just sitting quietly, sitting still, and that's counting themselves out of this game as it is. Down 6 goals, 15 minutes left to play, and it seems from their body language, they don't want to give themselves a shot.
As things get back underway, just want to remind you that this is your last chance to bid on the game-worn jerseys by the Stars tonight. Again, Heart Health Awareness Night, courtesy of CHI Franciscan, and those red jerseys, and of course the white keeper jerseys, still available to be bid on online by using the Live Source app. That's Live Source, all one word, free to download in your app store, and bidding will last until 5 minutes remain in the fourth quarter. If you happen to win and are in a remote location, the Stars will mail the jersey to you. Turlock, at this point, you have to think playing for pride, as there's a giveaway. Pereira steaming up the middle. He pulls it wide. Let's fly, and Nick Pereira has his hat trick. Starting off the first quarter with a special goal, and starting off the fourth quarter with a special goal. His third of the night. On the night, he hit 200 in his career.
And we have to celebrate them all equally. Hats off to number 202 for Nick Pereira. 14:07 to play here in regulation. And you know that Nick Pereira is going to be watching himself on the points leaderboard on the season. Tonight's a great night to excel himself up that sheet, as he's got 3 goals to start to go off on tonight. And he's one of those guys, last year we saw him top of the points leader, top of the assists, and he's the reigning league MVP. He goes on the counterattack there, somewhere that you don't see Nick Pereira often, winning foot races, and he's just able to go in between 2 defenders, a quick little push out to the right, the classic Nick Pereira step over and finish. He loves that move. If you see him roll the ball over with his right foot, it's nearly going to be a goal every single time. Now, at some point, you know, I'm wondering here, Andrew, the Stars, they want to keep their health in their players, but this isn't a sport where you can really rest guys for the rest of the quarter. You can give guys down the bench a little bit longer shifts, but you have to have your Stars play through this. You have to have Ramos play all the way through the fourth quarter. You can't just pull Nick Pereira from the rest of the game. You have to use all of your guys on the bench, and that's what makes this kind of interesting to see how they pan out this fourth quarter.
Rado turned over to Keats. And Keats, you just saw the turn of the head there. He's going to drift wide, and Keats is going to play smart, although he gives it away there. Brambilla has an option to find Echeverria. Keats gave him a tug, and Brambilla's gone down. The blue card comes out. Corey Keats will sit for 2.
There's our first blue card of the day, and Corey Keats, he's going to be in the box now for the next 2 minutes. And he's one of those guys who often finds himself into the penalty box. We saw him get ejected from a game about 3 weeks ago. He had to sit for the next match. But just on the break, you can't pull anybody down like that. His hands are up. He knows that the foul is coming. And then once he goes to the ground, you know, there's a clear path to the goal being open. And now the Stars have to play shorthanded.
Stars kill off just under half of their penalty kills, 47% on the season.
Turlock, on the other hand, they only score on 23% of their power plays. Not a great power play team, but right now, if they want to get things clicking, which it's a tough mountain to climb, they got to go now.
Gutierrez just goes for goal. McCluskey lifts the ball clear. McNeely, Caceres, Hansen, and McCluskey in on defense. Campos, Gonzalez, Gutierrez, Echeverria, and Jurado on the power play. Campos. Gutierrez has 1 goal on the night. Down low for Jurado. Gutierrez. Gonzalez, McCluskey laid down in front of that shot. I think it came off his head and goes into the net.
Throwing his body on the line. Something I like about this power play unit, the power play kill, for Tacoma. You got Evan McNeely, the guy who's been on the team for a day, already on this kill. You are trusting him so much to be able to play shorthanded in this zone where you have to have so much chemistry. That's a great move by Tacoma.
Gonzalez draws Jurado out with that pass. Echeverria wants it in the corner. It finds Gutierrez. Campos is down low. Stars halfway through the kill. Echeverria shoots, shots blocked, that time by McNeely.
You know, I think something that Tacoma might want to keep in mind in the big picture of this game is their goal differential on the season is -12. With a great shot there and saved by Waltman, but they're -12. They got a 7-goal lead. They're really chipping away at that. They want to be in the positive on goal differential, and they know that they look at that sort of stat during the week.
Gutierrez back for Gonzalez. Low shot from him. Comes to Gutierrez. Hansen right in front of him, and Gutierrez goes top shelf. Makes this a 6-goal game.
Gutierrez has 2 now on the night. Scoring shorthand, on the power play for the Express. It's 8-2. And Gutierrez smashes that ball where Waltman can't get it. A little bit bouncing, which is going to give him a little more pace on it. Waltman trying to do his best to reach up to that crossbar, but that's a well-placed shot. That's good stuff from Gutierrez.
And definitely he's one of the bright spots of this season for Turlock, that started so very bright indeed and has faded a little bit, as they are looking most likely at a 4-10 record when the next 11 minutes and 40 seconds expire.
Gutierrez now has 11 goals and 10 assists on the season. That's a pretty good season to be putting together on this sort of team where you got a lot of well-balanced scoring out of your squad. Gutierrez is able to make sure that his production well-balanced.
Rafael Cox down the boards. Velades sticks a foot in. And it's going to come to the top of the arc. Velades is saying that was incidental. Referee is saying he intentionally played the ball and sent it out. Stars have not produced much from this spot tonight, but they're usually very good from it. Pereira down low. McNeely almost snuck that through Carvalho. And Campos knocks it clear.
I think Pereira's really looking to tack on that next assist that will tie him for the league lead. He's sitting at 18 just behind Leo Gibson of Kansas City right now. Pereira can, set up one of his teammates. I think he's going to be very happy at his rightful place on top of the assist board.
Keats finds Ramos. Send up the line for Douglas. Douglas. Pereira. Pereira squares back, and Ramos! 2 Stars players on a hat trick now. Tacoma running wild.
That play gets set up all the way in the defensive end where the Stars were back down. They couldn't play back to Waltman because of the high pressure. And it's a quick play, give and go up the boards. Just being able to break things out, give a lot of space going downfield. And Ramos is just able to keep the run going. Pereira got the ball from Douglas on the attack. Waited for things to play out. Such a patient player, Nick Pereira. And then he's able to set up the run right down the middle for Ramos, who's able to smash it home. Here's Lima just setting up that attack quick outside of the foot pass, and it's Pereira playing patiently. Ramos finishing to the far post.
Authoritative stuff to grab his 3rd goal of the night. Another look at it there. Just really pretty. Megson nearly sparked another fast break, I should say, while we were in that replay.
The Stars have played gorgeous counterattack soccer tonight where they're getting numbers forward, they're outnumbering the defense, and they're just playing those 3-on-2s, those 3-on-1s perfectly, being so unselfish with the ball, making sure all their teammates are getting a touch, and they're being patient enough to wait for that open pass.
Turnover here, Echeverria gets it past Waltman, can't put it on frame though. Brambila manages to bring that ball down.
One thing about this position right now where the Stars are in, they're up 7. Waltman's not going to rush to throw this ball out. He's going to settle, he's going to take his time, and he's going to look up, and he's going to find the right little rollout for his team. Now it's the Express just stringing together a few passes, and we haven't seen a whole lot of this tonight. They have not had a whole lot of possession going for them all at once. They've knocked balls downfield. They've tried forcing things. The Stars have played really good man-to-man defense where they're not allowing that attacker to breathe. They're really just playing tight man-to-man.
Gutierrez comes crashing in. Loose ball in the arc. Keats lifts it clear. And Gonzalez heads it to keep it in play. Long ball sent forward. Gutierrez is there, chops it back. Echeverria tries to square it even more. Germain and Canali, a foot race now to the boards. They go to shoulder to shoulder. Germain goes headlong into the boards. And Waltman clears it with his feet. Straight to Raphael Cox. Cox brings the ball under control and scores! The long outlet from Danny Waltman. And Raphael Cox goes straight at Carvalho and makes it 10 on the night for Tacoma.
Wow, this is good stuff out of Tacoma. Back-to-back weeks where you are scoring double-digit goals. I said it earlier in the broadcast. I said it last week. When you score 10 goals, you should never lose a game. And Tacoma is doing exactly what should be happening when you score 10 goals. You should be blowing out your opponent. You're up 8 goals with 8 minutes to play. And this is good stuff. When I talked to Nick Pereira last week about being able to score 10 goals, he said, look, there's a lot of things to build on. Defensively, we have to get better. Offensively, we need to keep this pace. They are keeping this pace tonight. This is good stuff. Ball over the top. Raphael Cox in on the run, and just the easy placement, finishing. And Tacoma has a great lead right now in the fourth quarter.
Well, Tacoma just keeping their foot on the gas, too. They are not going to let Turlock just walk this to the finish line. If Turlock's not going to drop back, they're going to send it long and play the one-on-ones. You gotta love rivalry soccer in the MASL, Peyton.
You know, and I think things gotta be cutthroat in this league. No teams are gonna go easy on Tacoma. No teams are ever gonna call off the dogs at any point. And I think Tacoma, they just gotta do the same thing.
Northwest Harvest, $2,000 have been raised in the last 2 games. Thank you.
Well, that just so great to know. Shot there, careens off the boards, tipped wide. You probably couldn't hear it on the broadcast, but obviously, as part of this season, every goal scored by the Tacoma Stars is a $100 donation to Northwest Harvest, which means they've now produced $2,000 in donations in their last 2 home games.
That's going to hurt the bank somewhere, but this is a great cause. And I think Tacoma, they know that. They want to play for these donations. I like to believe so.
I guess it's as noble a reason as any for trying to run up the score. Quickly, here's Pereira looking for maybe 4. No, he cuts back from McCluskey. What a stop from Carvalho. Kick save and a beauty.
Selflessly passing that off for McCluskey, and you know, Pereira, he loves the assist more than the goal. He loves setting up his teammates.
Well, like you said, he wants the league lead back. Finds Ramos.
You know, this sort of pace, he's going to go for the league lead in goals too. Having a hat trick tonight with still 6 minutes, 20 seconds to play.
6 winners were drawn tonight. If you hear your ball number call, please head to the concourse to coordinate your prize. Here are the winners. Ball number 1, Walter Haynes.
Back pass there, leaves Waltman in the spot of trouble. Campos comes charging in and fouls Waltman in the process.
Clips the ankle just a bit, but now the Stars on a quick counter.
Trying to play quickly while Turlock was gone for a change.
I like the play of getting Waltman involved just after he gets under trouble. It'll allow him to relieve himself after playing, you know, one good pass and getting that confidence back.
Pereira, inventive first touch there. Pulls it back, gone down under pressure, but it was light. Arista heads it back to Carvalho.
That touch was a thing of beauty from Nick Pereira, just being able to turn leg in the air on the fly like that. A lot of the times you'll watch him let that ball fall in over the top. Just trying to be creative.
Echeverria gone wide for Placencia. Here's Jurado stepping around Pereira. And how about that acrobatic clearance? Maybe not a bicycle kick goal out of Megson tonight, but he knocked the ball clear using one. And Pereira wins that. Raphael Cox trying to run downfield. Pereira tied up with his man. Jurado's gone down. Pereira still on it. And here's the outlet to find Rafael Cox. Cox has drawn Carvalho, pokes it through. Rafael Cox can't get the cash-in rebound as Gonzalez puts a shoulder into his back, comes into the boards and goes down. That's a free kick.
Oh, Rafael Cox has great speed. He's able to put the ball around the goalkeeper coming out, and then it just goes horizontal, and Rafael Cox in a foot race is able to do everything there that he needed, and then he gets the foul called. There's the Megson bicycle kick out of the end. What a great look from our camera crew there, and Alex Megson, one heck of an acrobatic defender.
And we're seeing Mike Arguello checking in now at goal for Tacoma. Waltman getting a much appreciated round of applause. McNeely rattles that around, might fall for Canali. No good off the left post.
Arguello getting his first minutes of the year, and he's a fan favorite around these sort of parts. He got a lot of Arguello jerseys that get auctioned off in these games, and they are worn proudly around the stadium. I know I saw 2 weeks ago Latina Heritage Night Arguello jersey walking around this building tonight.
Attention please. Now in goal for the Tacoma Stars, number 1, Mike Arguello.
And you hear that rumble in the crowd right there. That was Arguello being officially announced. Here's Campos. Sends in a low ball. Keats knocks it away. Oh, clever ball from Rafael Cox there to Keats. Might still fall in for Cox here. Has everything going but the ball. Gutierrez wins it and has the odd man rush coming. Gone wide. Gonzalez squares it back, and that one tipped in by Campos for a third. Tacoma caught out in transition.
The yellow card is being issued here from the near side official, and I think Lamar Nagel is pointing to himself saying, that's on me.
That appears to be Luis Brambila that's getting sent to the box. Might have gotten a little bit mouthy after the goal. I'm not sure.
My apologies to Lamar Nagel. I saw him point to the chest saying that was on him, but now you got Brambila going into the box for the rest of the match.
60 seconds.
Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you're following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and at MASL Arena on Twitter. Well, that's been a rough and tumble game over the course of this match, but just 7 total penalty minutes handed out so far. Corey Keats sat for 2, which eventually led to the second goal of the night for Gutierrez and the visitors. And Campos just now grabbing a third with 3:48 to go.
And Campos tonight, he's got goal and assist. It's a nice night for him. He assisted on the first goal with a very good pass, finding Gutierrez on the counterattack and now finishing on his own. Right now with Brambilla going into the penalty box after a goal, that's something that you can't do. You can't lose your cool like that. And you just did something positive for your team. Don't take away from it by taking yourself off the field. Now you're down a man for the rest of the game, and your bench is that much thinner in the late stages where guys are already fatigued, and now you're playing down a man. Line changes are going to be all sorts of tired.
Pereira back for Caceres. A reminder to our viewers that yellow card offenses don't carry a man down penalty. 5-on-5 we play.
Once again, the last yellow card decision to count express number 80, Luis Brambila for dissent.
And the official cause for the yellow card, dissent on Brambila. Here's Valadez. Shot is blocked. Douglas thought he might have a clear route to that ball. Echeverria skipping high. Pulido. Arguello in goal. Jurado. Pulido. Echeverria rattles around the boards. Pereira has it and turns back. So patient with the ball is Nick Pereira.
And I love what Pereira did right there. He looked up and made eye contact with the goalkeeper all the way down on the other side of the field, and it forced everyone to retreat. Everyone turned around and they said, is he gonna pull this shot? And then he just slowly makes his turn and keeps possession for the Stars.
Hansen Canale. Chelsea dagger ringing out here at the ShoWare Center. Well, there have been several daggers that the Stars have put into the Turlock Cal Express over the night. Technically speaking, currently Alessandro Canale has the game-winning goal as here's a risky turnover. Polito chases down McCluskey, fights his way free. One back by Plasencia. Echeverria fights off Canale, advantage played by the referee. "90 seconds to go. Campos, 1 goal on the night, sends in a low ball, dinks right off the back of Caceres. A shoulder charge will give Tacoma the free clearance.
Campos coming right off the bench, and he had that quick, cheeky touch. It created a little bit of space, and then he fires a shot into a dangerous area. And you gotta love a player like that who's able to just, he comes off the bench, he sparks things really quick, a little bit of flash here and there, and then but it's effective, it's useful. He's making sure that he's creating his own space with it.
Nagel, quick return from Hansen. Gutierrez runs him off the ball. Rafael Cox gonna make it interesting for Carvalho. Carvalho can't play with his hands this wide. Nagel down for Hansen. Back to Arguello. Long ball forward, taken out of the air by Gonzalez. Valadez sends downfield, finds Campos. Under a minute to play now. Campos is fouled. That one tipped wide by Arguello. That's a great save. 44 seconds now. Gutierrez's shot is blocked. Gonzalez picks out Campos. 35 seconds. Campos. And it's knocked away. Derek Johnson streaming forward. His pass looking for Rafael Cox. Knocked away. 20 seconds left. Nagel finds Caceres. And Hansen back on the ball. Nagel goes for a change. Fans getting on their feet here. Under 10 seconds left. Hansen pulls the ball back. Knocks it back to Arguello with 3 seconds to play. And that is gonna do it. Tacoma Stars start fast, stay fast, and take down the Turlock Cal Express by a score of 10-3 here at the ShoWare Center, getting their 6th win of the season. Big night for Tacoma. Meanwhile, other action, just one other match tonight. 5 minutes left to go. Ontario Fury still have a shutout against the Mesquite Outlaws. It's 7-0 down there in California. And so they are definitely bound for a win, but they will still trail Tacoma in the Western Conference standings. Well, that's what happened around the league. Let's take a look at tonight's play of the game. And this is what Nick Pereira, already on a hat trick, says. Mike Ramos, get yourself a hat trick. Grabbing his 3rd goal of the night. At the time, made it 9-2. Just big, big stuff from Tacoma. Pereira bags 3, hits career goal 200. Here it is again. And Pereira just patient, draws the defense, and Ramos picks his spot. Lethal to the back post. And big night for Ramos, big night for Pereira, who grabbed career goal number 200. And the Stars needed this win. There is Mike Ramos. Canale as well. Bagged a big goal, and just a very, very impressive series of performances. And Danny Waltman, big night for him. Didn't get the shutout. Dan Antoniuk didn't get his goal, but you have to think it won't be long before he hits career number 50. Arguello getting some love as well. Evan McNeely getting a warm welcome as well in his return to the ShoWare Center, wearing the colors of the good guys. Let's send it down now to the field where Peyton Barons has Nick Pereira.
Hey, thanks, guys. Nick, what a bounce-back performance right there. You guys scored 10 goals last week. You come out here again this week. You score 10 more. Talk about the offensive efficiency tonight.
Yeah, I mean, when we scored 10 goals, we talked about in the locker room it needs to be a win. And obviously, scoring 10 goals and not winning last week hurt, so we decided that this week that 10 was going to be enough. The most important number on that board is that there's more of ours than there is theirs. So if it was 10, great. But again, really good crowd, good positive crowd, and everyone's excited. So we were excited too.
So you guys just wrapped up the homestand. You're going to go on the road for 2 games before returning home. Talk about what you're taking from these 5 games at home before you go out onto the road trip.
I think we had some very positive games. Obviously, not every game was a win, but I think we learned our lessons on the road. We had the 6-game road trip that was really tough. And hopefully we can go back into Dallas now and pick up 2 wins.
Do we get to see 10 goals next week too?
I just want to win. I don't care how many we score. I'll take a 1-0.
Nick, give it up for the fans tonight. Talk
Yeah.
about their energy throughout the entire game.
No, these 5 home games have been amazing, and like I said, the fans are really the ones that are pushing us over the line. So thank you guys so much for all the positivity, all the energy sticking with us. So thank you.
Nick, go celebrate with your teammates. It was a great team win tonight. Take care. We're going to send it back up to you guys.
Thank you very much, Peyton. Well, Mike Ramos ready to get the celebration started. A big night for Tacoma. 10 goals. They take down the Turlock Cal Express by 10-3 and go to 6-8 on the season. Express down to 4-10. For the Stars, they're on the road. They head to the Lone Star State for a back-to-back against Dallas and Mesquite on the 15th and 16th, but they'll be back at home for the first of a 2-game stand against Florida on February 27th. That match scheduled for a 7:35 p.m. kickoff, and we will have it right here for you on MASL TV. But that is going to do it for all of us here at the ShoWare Center, including Peyton Barons. I'm Andrew Harvey saying so long, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.